Morning, everybody. Welcome back to the old Hillbilly Rancher channel. Got a little project today. It's not a terribly difficult project at all. This is a 2007 Silverado 1500 Vortec V6. Need to put a brake controller in it. The brake controller we're putting in it is a used brake controller that came out of my 2000 Silverado 1500 with the Vortec V6. I bought that truck new, obviously in 2000, and I put that brake controller in, and it served me well until a couple years ago when I picked this truck up, and then I sold that old white truck. But before I sold it, I cut the leads off the controller and kept it just in case I might need it in the future. And yeah, it's time to put it in its new home. It's not a difficult job, and I say that because finally in 2007 General Motors decided to start listening to people who buy pickup trucks because they use them as a pickup truck. 2007 was a divided production year. The first half of the year, the first run of the year, was the traditional body style they had been using. And then at some point during 2007, they transferred, or they shifted over to the new body style, is what they call it. The new body style had a different grille, different headlights, just a different general appearance, and it had a few other amenities added to it that the old one didn't. That's what I happen to have, is the new body style. One of the amenities that General Motors added, like I referred to earlier, is they pre-wired it for a brake controller, and it comes out of they came out of the factory with the toe plug receptacle built into the bumper, and it's all wired up. And under the dash is a clipped bundle of wires dedicated solely for wiring up said brake controller. And then to make it even better, to get the power and whatnot, they came up front here, and right down in here you could just see it sticking out as a black wire with a red tracer, or a red wire with a black tracer, however you want to say it. That is the power feed to the harness that this wires up to. So cut that tape, free that up, and it will wire into the panel box here. Real simple. And then these wires just wire up underneath the dash, and then this gets mounted to the dash like any other aftermarket brake controller. This is a Hopkins Impulse. I've already been to the Hopkins website. I looked up what each wire does. All I have to do is match up these wires' functions with the functions of the wires that are in the factory harness under the dash. And that lead is, I'll just show you. I've already pulled it out. It's right here. It was just folded up and taped in. And they even went so far as to add a sticker on it with the wire colors and a code for what each wire does. So we get started on this, and like I said, it won't be much of a project, won't be much of a video, but I thought you guys might like to come along and see what the old hillbilly's up to. The old hillbilly really needs to vacuum his truck. Oh, all right. Let me get a little further down the road here, and I'll bring you back in. Okay, folks, I'm back. While I was off camera, I went ahead it's pretty cramped in here, so to speed things up on camera, I went ahead and stripped all my wires. This is the Hopkins Impulse harness for my controller, and this is the supplied lines from GM that was already in the vehicle. So I'll tell you again, GM was kind enough. They labeled what these wires do, but I'll go ahead and run through them real quick so you know, and I know. The dark blue line is the switched power from the controller to the trailer brakes. From the controller to the trailer brakes. The red with the black tracer. Red with the black tracer is fused power to the brake controller. That's that line out there by the fuse box that I showed you that's still wrapped up in the aluminum. You got to free it up and get it hooked up. That's it. The light blue, which again it looks gray, but or maybe even a real light green. But light blue with a white tracer. That one is the brake switch to controller. And then the white is the ground, and then the orange, you see it's still taped up. That's for a high stop lamp on the back of the trailer, like a boxed trailer, and I'm not hooking it up. Now, that's the GM wires. Now my Hopkins Impulse, just 4 wires, and they're pretty simple. The blue one is to the trailer brake. Carries it out to the trailer brake. So that'll be blue to blue. Black is positive from the battery source. So that'll be going over here to the red with the black tracer. Positive from the battery source. Red is from the brake switch to the controller. That's going to come over to the blue, gray, white wire right here. And then white is the ground. White is the ground. White is the ground. So eventually I'll get it right. Let me get started on these. Now I'm not doing anything fancy on this. I'm going to use butt connectors, and then I'll slip marine grade shrink over them, and that'll be plenty good. That'll be plenty good. So let's go the dark blue power to the trailer brake, and then blue to the trailer brake. Set. Blue to blue. There's one. That is good and tight. And now it's done. Well, now it's connected, it's strong. All I got to do is shrink the heat ramp, and that wire will be done. Okay, pretty well wraps her up there. Like I said, I did not do the basically a third brake light wire. I didn't do it. That's going to come over here, and I will mount that controller probably over here somewhere, maybe underneath. Let me go grab it and see if I can't think of a good place to mount it. Well, folks, right here is where we ended up, and the reason being, I had plenty of length to move it on over. However, this kick panel, it's has a tab down here with a screw in it that holds it, and it was a perfect place to mount that. I didn't have to drill any holes or anything, so just mounted it there. Now we just got to do the fuse box line up under the hood, and we'll be close to being done. Okay, and as I said earlier, you see this wire loom right here. You can see the black and red wire right there. That's the one we're after. It's just poking out. So I'm going to take a utility blade and cut the tape and get that out. Be right back. Okay, we're back. Now, this wire was labeled, but you can see it's faded and the glue has pulled the lettering off. Anyway, it's got an eyelet already on it. Come around and put it on the correct post, which is the larger of the two. And then on mine, this is an 8mm by 1.25 thread post. Put that on. Snug her up. And there is no reason to go retard tight on this. Just snug it up. That's that. Snap your handle back down. Put your cover back on. Actually, before you put your cover back on, you need to double check that you got the fuse. The factory put the fuse in. Okay, as I said, the red wire, the black tracer on it, to the number 2 stud. And the number 2 stud in your list here is number 65. And number 65, 30 amp fuse. Right there's the fuse. Take the old power probe. You got 12.5 volts. So this is a must-have. Power probe, PB100. Great little tool. Anyway, we're done here. Now, if you wanted to hook up the auxiliary power to the rear plug, say you've got a trailer that's got the interior lights and or whatnot, underneath the master cylinder, down low, you will see on the harness a red line sticking out with a eyelet already on it. That is your auxiliary power back to your trailer hookup. And it would, you do the same thing there, cut the black tape, run that wire up here, and then it goes on this post, the smaller post, and that's post number 1. There is no fuse there. Post number 1, I get to 6 mil. This is an 8, I get to 6 mil. Put the lid back on it, and this job's done. This job's done. So I hope you enjoyed this. If for nothing else, entertainment. If you picked up something you liked, great. If you didn't like, that's fine too. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want. Appreciate it. Until the next one, take care. See ya.